Good day everyone, my name is Jeremy Alambuya from BSED Sciences 1A. Today, I'll be going to explain to you the different types of nonverbal communication and the 4 types of verbal communication, and explain to you the 5 types of gestures, and also I'll be going to differentiate between verbal and nonverbal communication. So what is verbal communication? In verbal communication, thoughts or emotion or information is exchanged between individuals through the use of speech and interaction where a person uses the words to converse, then it's recognized as verbal communication. Non-verbal communication refers to signals transmitted through facial expression, postures, eye contact, gestures, tone of voice, body language, and other ways. So let's proceed the different types of nonverbal communication. We have 1. Facial expression. Facial expression are responsible for a huge proportion of nonverbal communication. Consider how much can be conveyed with a smile or a frown. The look on a person's face is often the first thing we see, even before we hear what they have to say. 2. Gestures. Deliberate movements and signals are an important way to communicate meaning without words. Common gestures include waving, pointing, and using fingers to indicate numeric amounts. Other gestures are arbitrary and related to culture. 3. Paralinguistic. Paralinguistic refers to vocal communication that is separate from actual language. This includes factors such as tone of voice, loudness, inflection, and pitch. 4. Body language and posture. Posture and movement can also convey a great deal of information. Research on body language has grown significantly since the 1970s, but popular media have focused on the over-interpretation of defensive posture, arm crossing, and leg crossing, specifically after publishing Julius Pass' book Body Language. 5. Proxemics. People often refer to their need for personal space, which also an important type of nonverbal communication. The amount of distance we need and the amount of space we perceive as belonging to us is influenced by a number of factors, including social norms, cultural expectation, situational factors, personality characteristic, and level of familiarity. 6. Haptics. Communicating through touch is another important nonverbal behavior. There has been a substantial amount of research of the importance of the touch in infancy and early childhood. 7. Appearance. Our choice of color, clothing, hairstyle, and other factors affecting appearance are also considered a means of nonverbal communication. Research on color psychology has demonstrated that different colors can evoke different moods. Appearance can also show logical reaction, judgments, and interpretation. 8. Eye gaze. The eyes play an important role in nonverbal communication, and such things as looking, staring, and blinking are important nonverbal behaviors. When people encounter people or things that they like, the rate of blinking increases and pupils dilate, including hostility, interest, and attraction. And the last, we have artifacts. Objects and images are also tools that can be used to communicate nonverbally. On an online forum, for example, you might select an avatar to represent your identity online and to communicate information about who you are and the things you like. And those are the 9 types of nonverbal communication. And now let's proceed to the 4 types of verbal communication. The four types of verbal communication we have: 1. Intrapersonal communication. These forms of communication is extremely private and restricted to ourselves. It includes the silent conversation we have ourselves, wherein we juggle rules between the sender and receiver who are processing our thoughts and actions. This process of communication, when analyzed, can either be conveyed verbally to someone or stay confined or as thoughts. 2. Interpersonal communication. This form of communication takes place between two individuals and is thus of one-on-one conversation. Here, the two individuals involved will swap the rules of sender and receiver in order to communicate in a clearer manner. 3. Small group communication. This type of communication can take place only where there are more than two people involved. Here, the number of people will be small enough to allow each other participants to interact and converse with the rest. Press conference, board meetings, and the team meetings are examples of group communication unless a specific issue is being discussed. Small group discussion can become chaotic and difficult to interpret by everybody. This lag in understanding information completely can result in miscommunication. 4. Public communication. This type of communication takes place when one individual addresses a large gathering of people. Election campaigns and public speeches are examples of this type of communication. In such case, there is usually a single sender or information and several receivers who are being addressed. So those are the four types of verbal communication. So now, let's proceed to the 5 types of gestures. The 5 types of gestures we have: emblems, illustrators, adapters, regulators, and affect displays. So what is emblems? Emblems can be translated into a precise verbal message. Example given: the V gestures. 2. Illustrators. Illustrators used to depict or enhance the words being said. Example given: moving your hand while saying, "Let's move the chairs over there." 3. Adapters. Gestures that release and display bodily tension. Example given: wringing hands or rubbing face. 4. Regulators. Used to coordinate the flow of communication. Example given: making eye contact or using a gesture to invite somebody to speak. 5. Affect displays. Affect displaying emotion often includes facial often expressions. Example given: hand open and up to communicate surprised. And those are the 5 types of gestures, and thank you.